Now, what began as a scattered complaints from different quarters of the country has suddenly escalated into a full-blown nationwide protest.
Justice! Justice! हम लोग का एब्सेंट दिखाया जा रहा है। तुम्हारा जा रहा है। सर के लिए तुम्हारा जा रहा है। जो टीचर्स अपनी बात रखने आए थे तो उनको उठा कर ले जाएंगे।
ऑन द स्पॉट सेंटर चेंज किया है इन लोगों ने।
3 लाख करोड़ का घोटाला है।
इसी सेंटर में 3 दिन से ऐसा ही चल रहा है।
जब तक हमारे साथ में टीचर्स नहीं आ जाएंगे हम यहाँ से हिलेंगे नहीं।
ये गाना चाहिए तो ये देखो आप ये देखो पुलिस वाले FIR कर लो। हमारा तुम कुछ नहीं कर सकते, मुझसे बोल रहे हैं और बाकायदा धमकी दे रहे हैं कि हमने बोल दिया तुम जाओ तो जाओ।
Yes, we are talking about the SSC protest of 2025. Now, thousands of aspirants and teachers across the country has given the call of Delhi Chalo, and they have took the streets of Delhi as of July 31st over alleged mismanagement of the Staff Selection Commission (SSC) in the post-phase 13 recruitment examination. The students and teachers are reforming urgent reforms in SSC and also different other government recruitment agencies in the entire country. See, the issue of mismanagement of public exams and the issue of examination leak is not new with India. It is a very deep issue which affects the lives of the population of youth, the very youth which is going to become the future of the country, and which is why you will be shocked to know that in the last 7 years, there have been 70 open cases of examination leaks, public examination leaks in our country, and which has affected 1.7 crore aspirants all across the country. Now, this is not a very small number. This is a very huge number, highlights the problem, the incapacity, and the rust in our public examination selection system. Now, coming to this recent SSC examination. This exam was to be started by July of 24 and was to be ended by 1st of August. Now, this examination was scheduled to be conducted by a computer-based format. Now, candidates who appeared in this examination initially, they have claimed multiple loopholes in the conduct of the examination, whether it be biometric systems failing, technical glitches, poor conditions of the examination centers, administrative lapses, a person getting allocated a center which is 100 kilometers away, 200 kilometers away, or even in a different state or states which are very far flung, and time change of the examination center. Alongside this, multiple administrative issues and multiple technical issues were reported by students from all across the country. Also, many students who went from far-flung areas to different 400 kilometer, 500 kilometer away areas only to know that the exam has been cancelled abruptly.
ऑन द स्पॉट सेंटर चेंज किया है इन लोगों ने।
तो रात को एक बजे एसएमएस आता है कि आपका एग्जाम कैंसिल कर दिया गया है। बच्चों को मारा गया जब वो मांग किए कि हमको अपना एग्जाम देने दो, उनको मारा गया। लड़कियों के बाल तक घसीटे गए। वहाँ
ऑनलाइन एग्जाम कंडक्ट कराने के लिए एक माउस जो है वो आपका काम नहीं कर रहा।
हमने कोई गलती नहीं की, हमने क्या गलत किया है? बॉम्ब फोड़ा कहीं पे।
So while such a huge level of mismanagement on a nationwide scale is going on, and it is not just a one single examination, it is going on against our youth's future, this definitely makes us question the entire public examination system of our country, and which is why it led to a nationwide uproar, a nationwide protest where students and teachers all across the country came to Delhi, protested, and while protesting as well, police treated them brutally. You could see several images, several videos where several popular teachers of the country are being beaten up by the police in Delhi, in the capital territory of our country. Also, one more shocking thing to know was that even bouncers were placed in several centers to silence the candidates who were raising genuine concerns against the examination. This also has been reported from several locations. And all of these situations, alongside very recent events of NET examination getting cancelled, or NEET examination paper being leaked, or several other questionable events of different other examinations in the country, had made us question about all India examination leak and the rust which is there in the public examination system in the country. So today, we'll be talking about the public examination system in our country and how, rather than becoming a boon, it has become a bane for our country. Hello, my name is Preetpal Singh and you're watching Perspective. Now, as I've told you initially, that in the last 7 years, 70 cases of examination leak and examination mismanagement has come across in our country, which has affected more than 1.7 crore aspirants in total. This simply makes us question the entire examination system. Now, let us try to question the system first. Now, in the recent NEET examination itself, we saw more than 60-70 students getting a 100% score, a 100 percentile score. Even if a person who is getting 100 percentile score is not guaranteed of a admission in the best college of the country in Delhi, even after getting full score. Now, this is again a mismanagement done by the authorities conducting the examination, that is NTA, National Testing Agency. And other than that, one by one, if we try to highlight the issues, the first major issue with the Indian public examination system is lack of trust and lack of credibility. Now, because of these frequent scandals, many students, they are not able to trust the public examination system entirely. And also because of lack of consistency in the conduct of these examinations, and because it's being conducted by different boards, different universities, or different institutions, it makes us question the sanctity of examination system as a whole. This is one. Second is overemphasis on memory. Now, the structure of the examination itself is to be questioned, because the obnoxious questions which many teachers have highlighted being asked in the question paper are not to be worthy of being asked in a public sector examination or a public examination. Which is why focus on rote learning, focus on redundant, irrelevant facts also makes us question the quality of question paper as well, that how you are able to check the ability or aptitude of a person or an individual or a student, that would he become an officer or would he be suitable for a certain post based on these set of obnoxious questions. Now, while this is a very major issue, the another issue is in relation to flawed assessments. Now, question paper multiple times have multiple errors. Ambiguous questions are there, ambiguous statements are used. They're trying to test irrelevant content of the students. And other than that, there have been problems in several questions itself. So, which means several questions which have been asked in the question paper in itself are wrong. And what are the authorities wanting? That students, after the question paper is done, they have to submit in writing in the website that they feel there is a problem with this question paper. And students have to submit a fee also alongside this, which means that the authority will make a wrong question. That on the basis of the wrong question, student has to first go to the authority telling that, okay, this question is wrong, and you have to take a fee from the student as well for that. Such a bad system has been deployed by the authorities. And if multiple questions are wrong, it changes the cutoff to a very great extent, which makes us question again the sanctity, the trust, and the credibility on the public examination system. And alongside this, the secrecy, the lack of transparency, inadequate regulations or inadequate penalties and enforcement of rules and regulations have all been major issues which public examination system of our country has been suffering with. Also, one more thing you'll observe is that these kind of issues you will mostly see in relation to state-specific examination. Also, to examinations where lower levels of recruitment are being done. For example, very rarely you will see a question being pointed out against UPSC civil services examination, because it is a very prestigious examination directly hiring the officers, the grade A officers for the country. But other than that, if we talk about SSC examination, if we talk about banking examinations, or if we talk about other level 4 examinations, or let's say state examinations specifically, there are multiple issues which comes to the forefront. One bigger issue which comes to the forefront is the concept of subjectivity. Now, there have been several instances of subjective question being asked and subjective marks being granted to the students. This is again one loophole of the public examination system. And also, of course, that criticism of public examination stifling the creativity and critical thinking ability of an individual and just making them rote learn certain facts and just learn, revise again, all those things again and again for a span of 1 year, and then pouring it out in examination and then getting a rank and becoming an officer or getting a job. All this is what public examination is all about today. And since the nature of the public examination in our country is such that only a limited number of students are going to be selected, whatever you may do, how much hard work you may put, only a limited number of students are going to be selected. It demotivates the other major section, 90% of the students who are not getting selected. It demotivates them. Multiple times the instances in relation to suicides are also being found. So in relation to mental health of individuals, mental health of students also, this public examination system rut in our country is causing a lot of difficulty. Not just this SSC examination recently, but multiple other examinations in the last 2 to 3 years have faced this kind of criticism. And students have come out on street to show their dismay or to show their discomfort in relation to these examinations. Now, to solve these problems, the central government came up with a law. That is, a law was passed in the Lok Sabha. It was in relation to Public Examination Prevention of Unfair Means Act of 2024. And it came into effect on 21st of June 2024. Now, based on this law, first of all, it's a very new law. One very important requirement at the current time would be to enforce this law against SSC right now and to ensure immediate remedy for the students. That is what is required. Now, first of all, very briefly, let us understand what is this law, and then we'll understand how it can be applied in the current situation. See, the objective of this law is to create a greater transparency, accountability and fairness and credibility to the public examination system in the country. and also to prevent unfair means in the public examination. So which is why it does the first thing. It defines what is public examination, which means any examination which is conducted by a public examination authority listed in a schedule or a bill, and any such authority which is notified by the central government. Now, for example, your UPSC or SSC Staff Selection Commission or RRBs, Railway Recruitment Boards or IBPS or NTA, all the examinations conducted by them would be public examinations under this particular law. Now, there are several punishable offences also which are defined in this particular act. One is leakage of question paper or the answer key. Others, directly or indirectly assisting the candidates in an unauthorized manner. Creation of fake websites to cheat or for any other monetary gain. Tampering with the computer networks, resources or the systems. Conduct of fake examination or issuance of fake admit cards or offer letters, and manipulation in the examination in any way. For example, manipulating in seat arrangements or allocation of dates or shifts to facilitate unfair means, all would be punishable under this particular act and would be a punishable offence. So minimum jail term of 3 to 5 years is put under this act, and also fine up to 1 crore. Also, it also holds the service provider, which are very controversial in this SSC examination as well. Service provider issue. Engage the examination, they are also held liable, which means under this act, the service providers for examination would be held liable and with the fines of up to 1 crore and a 4-year ban on involvement in the public examinations, any of them. So all in all, this act provides a legal framework for the central government and acts as a model for the states to adopt in relation to solving these issues of public examination leak or malpractices in the public examination going on in the entire country. Now, how to use this law for this SSC examination? See, first of all, most of all, what SSC chairman is saying is that all these problems were caused because of the wrong service provider. So, first of all, the service provider should be punished, and it is not the duty of the student that who is the service provider and who is not. All the examinations which we have given in our lives, we actually are not aware of who is the service provider. We are just aware of the authority who is conducting the examination, which is why it is the authority who needs to be held accountable, and the authority needs to hold the service provider also accountable. They should be banned for the next 4 years. A proper hefty fine should be levied from the service provider, and students need to be assured that any such event in the future also won't be treated lightly, and likelihood this event won't be happening in future. And which is why students should be made rest assured, and whatever fees has been taken from the students should be refunded to them at the earliest, and a proper date, proper schedule for the examination, for the re-examination, should be listed in front of the students at the earliest. Now, while this is going on, reforms at a very wider scale and a larger scale in the public examination system needs to be done, whereas change in question paper pattern, change in the overall pattern, the question papers, overall pattern of the examinations, asking more analytical ability-based questions, understanding-based questions, subject matter-based questions rather than obnoxious questions needs to be done. And always remember, continuous learning and empowerment is the key in this public examination system. And we must not forget, examination over here are the means and not an end. So which means they are means to an end, which is why they should not be treated as an end in itself. And all in all, technology like artificial intelligence, robotics, machine learning, and different other tech needs to be integrated with the examination system to make it cheating proof, to make it leakage proof, and to make it safe, secure for the students. So that students are sure, students have trust in the examination system, and they are sure that if we work properly, if we sincerely study, we would clear the examination without any external bias. I hope you gained a new perspective from the session. All the very best. Have a very beautiful day.